messages there.
I know it.
All right, thanks everyone. Thanks for sticking around. We've got John Dobson and man of the match, Steven Kitshoff. So
Man of the match.
surprised.
He was
Could be
commentating.
achieved again.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll take questions from the room, and then obviously if there's anyone on Zoom who has questions.
At 13-4, it was quite tight there. Things were really getting physical, but those 3 tries, I mean, that must have made you proud.
Yeah, I was disappointed from our return. We chatted at halftime. Disappointed from our return from the first half. Thought we could have done better there, but those tries. You know, I read this week that we like to kick to the corners and more, which we got our first try, but the real DNA of the Storm was those tries, you know. So I was very proud and pleased for the people to get 30,000 here and see those tries makes us extremely happy.
There seemed to be quite a lot of emotion in that first half. Heats were going in there,
Yeah.
and that probably caused a bit of knock-ons and missed opportunities. So it must have been great to see how the guys, how they composed the second half to actually finish off first half.
Yeah, look, I think it was always going to be an intense game. Kitsy can talk. I wasn't on the field, but I felt like we weren't, maybe because of the intensity of the game. I thought, we weren't as disciplined as we could have been, and I think that ill discipline comes from a good place. Trying to compete, So that was probably. But I said halftime we were disappointed. That's the truth, but we put it right.
Just on your back three, with one Springbok. It's 3 Springboks. You're happy with just how they went against the match talking about?
Yeah, look, I thought they played well. Like how they don't, obviously back three is not like a front row where they get a chance to engage other directly. But I thought Damien Willemse, I know he got moved twice up to centre. I thought he was absolutely exceptional, keepers. And Zassi, no, I was very happy with the back three. We scored those tries. I'm happy. I'm excited for them.
In terms of obviously playing the same team consistently being picking similar players. In terms of injuries after today's game, I know Kitsy the field and then
Yeah, no. Look, our plan was, I think I told everybody, our plan up to that Dragons game was to give as many guys caps as possible. So we got depth, and then the next phase was to be cohesion, which was keeping the same team going, which were important games, and that was our plan. I don't think, unless I'm wrong, I don't think we did any injuries today. Dan got a couple of knocks, but no,
He's okay.
he's okay. Yeah. I was worried about Achiever's knee, but he finished really strongly. So no, we actually came out through it unscathed, and that was the plan.
Just in terms of that first half, physicality was there, it was going. What was said at half time to sort of change that around? Because in the past, started to stick and.
No, stay secret. No, we spoke about missed opportunities. I think if you think about Achiever's double movement and the penalties we gave away in the mid-third of like being a bit too over-eager, trying to win that confrontation game, I think we kept them in the game a bit. But I think also the early chat was like, let's avoid the mid-third penalties for between the 2 10s and actually just finish our opportunities. And that's exactly what happened in the first 20 of the second half.
They said that the inside showed a lack of experience. He actually went through the whole team and ages and all of that.
Okay. I didn't really look at the Bulls close enough. I mean, I think there's often a battle for who's got the youngest team or the most inexperienced team or the most inexperienced coaching team. That seems to be a competition sometimes. I could say that BJ Dixon and Connor Evans have got six caps between them, or Salam and Hartzenberg's a 19-year-old. Look, I don't know if the Bulls showed any experience. I thought Johan Gerson and drove that game pretty well for them. I think Cornell Hendricks, Anamapu, these are Kirtley, these are really test players, as you said, test back three. I'm surprised. Look, if that's how I saw, that's how they lost the game. It's different to how I saw it. But
There was an enormous desire.
You know, we hammered a lot on the players that were absent. You know, Springboks and so on. So is there a great deal of motivation for the guys in terms of you know, that perception that the guys are absent, but you know that the guys were present with like more than good.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, like Ben Jason and Suleiman had exceptional games. I think you could actually hear the collisions that BJ made in the midfield and the way he stopped the momentum and the way he worked. I think we spoke about it earlier the week. Just his presence, even though he's not inexperienced because he played a lot of RC Cup, but like say URC cap wise, he doesn't have a lot of caps, but I think he played exceptionally well. Suleiman did a great job on the outside in the wrong spot, just the way he defended, the way he put the Bulls back there under pressure. So I think, yes, we're missing some key guys, but the guys who came through today stepped up really well and showed they are URC Stormers quality players, and they'll take this franchise really far.
Just personally on your, you've obviously beaten Jake 4 times this year. I did ask him about it, he said well done. But just for you personally, it must be a highlight for you this year.
Yeah, look,
besides winning the final with URC.
yeah, look, I think it's a really big honor for us that they clearly invested so much in this game, you know, by resting those guys. And obviously, we talked about it in the week, putting eggs in this basket. So I knew they were really coming for us. Obviously, prepped, travelled, and chose their European Cup team differently for this game, which is a massive compliment to us. You know, I presume to try and get some sort of revenge or put the URC final to bed, and for us to win more convincingly is fantastic for us. I mean, I say it's really that they show us so much respect. It's great for Stormers rugby that we're back on the top table. That the Bulls need to rest players and focus so much on this game, and it is fantastic for us. And to get the win like we did, it's a good feeling. Thanks.
And then also, just Jake also spoke about the Curry Cup as well. We sort of diverted.
Yeah.
I just want to know, are you going to coach the Curry Cup side for Western Province as well?
Yeah. The Curry Cup. I think what's clear is that we have to manage. It's the same squad. There's a senior squad of players, and it's going after. So yeah, we're really making some plans for the Curry Cup. It's our responsibility, you know. And we've got players, you know, like let's say at least Mark only got 10 minutes today, or really good losers like Quenza, and when Kits is not here, and Quenza and Leon Lyons play, and then it makes sense that we manage them. You know, it's a bit of a look, makes it a longer season, but I think it's the right thing for us to do. Thanks, Peter.
Do you think that you guys were actually sharper because you played the last few weeks and the Bulls probably didn't have any impact?
I don't know. I also think, and I think it was said in the week, I certainly said in the week that where we stand will actually be judged in June. You know what I mean? What they did, those 2 weeks rest may pay off for them later. I really don't know. We wanted to get through today and get a win. I'm sure, and that's what we got. But I think the squad management thing is all around April, May, and that's what we'll see.
How do you think the team is managing the management?
I think because that's probably credit more to Kits exceptionally is how I think. I tell you why I'd say that, because you know don't have to be. I don't want to be sound like defensive, but out of that pack that played the final, you're going to take Evan Roos, you're going to take Samar Marat, somebody else we lost. Herschel Jenkins is Springbok is injured, and we lost a guy called Warwick Gelant, who everybody says was our playmaker last year. And for us to be lying second on the URC log. Very knowing that we get targets like we saw it in Cardiff, we saw it in Ospreys. It's tough, and I think we've done well to be. I think, we haven't gone and spent lots of money or bought in lots of players. We just played backing youngsters like BJ Dixon and Suleiman. So I think we're handling it reasonably well. I do think it's a long way to go. We still got a Leinster and Ulster, so that's going to be tough,
Dama, do you have a sort of, I mean, I know there's like so many different battles within the season, and one of them obviously is to make sure the Champions Cup for next year. Have you got like targets? I mean, if you look at the log now, you've got 39 points. I don't think you had that many this time last year. and you're also got a 5-point lead over the next team in the Shield, and with the game, and they go to Durban now. When do you start looking at the log and start taking that sort of seriously, or do you just play every game as it comes?
No, I think it's a good question, Gav. I think we have to get through next week with the Lions here, because home game is non-negotiable. Then Glasgow. If we get those two right, then we're in a really good position, and then we might be able to say to ourselves, okay, Leinster away might be a game where or like I think you're resting already then, aren't you? But I think we'd be maybe more circumspect around selection. But I think today puts us in a good position to play with that. We need today and next week, and then but we would start being creative. You know what I mean? Because a trip to Leinster or a trip to Ulster, they're tough. And if we get ourselves in the right position, we might not be able to go. We have to give some guys off.
You just made me think of something I need to ask Stephen as well. Stephen, I think I'm right. That's well, W, you're from that. I think I'm right that in sitting under, you have to go under strength to Loftus for the second round game. So that's probably the last time you play in the North South Derby, unless you played in the final again, like you did last year. Did that make it more personal for you? I mean, personally,
Yeah, just I didn't even think about that, but I think just the way the whole game was spoke about and the way it got built up and actually like everyone was speaking about this revenge game and the way Jake spoke about it in the media and the guys rested. I knew this game's going to be personal, so and for me to like looking at the log and seeing we're so tight and getting an opportunity at home, I think the guys. The way we prepped and the way we built up to the game was exceptional. This week was short, but the mentality of the boys and the way we even spoke, the calmness and the way we spoke this afternoon before the game was all just clear messages just to go all the way. And so I don't even think about the fact that it might be the last game for me here, but getting a victory, like such a nice victory over them, it's one of the career highs for me.
There's been so many narratives around this game, and just the fact that these two South African teams doing so well and this rivalry is so alive. How special is it? 30,000 fans in the crowd today. What's so close to Christmas in the festive season? How special is this rivalry?
No, it wasn't.
No, it's crazy. I didn't expect it to have 30,000 people 2 days before Christmas, and you can just see the flags and the cheer and how loud it was. So the atmosphere at the DHL Stadium was absolutely electrifying.
Just to follow up on it, Dobbo, do you feel that was the best performance of the season so far? Of the season?
Be honest.
No, I'm genuinely trying to think. No, I think it was up there. I felt you always, as a coach, you feel like if they score last, you always feel a bit. Yeah, because that's what we've got this horrible thing of having these great first half leads. And people say you fall away in the second half, but so you always wish you do well worse in the first half and then finish well. So no, it was a really good performance. I think, I think I just said to the team, I was Steven downstairs, I reckon that's 70% of our operating capacity. I don't think we've really gone over that much this year, so probably up there, yeah.
Even the sportsmanship in the chamber was quite good.
Yeah.
I mean, they made a tunnel for you guys. That was good for you. I mean, what are your thoughts on the sportsmanship at the end of the game?
No, I think it's brilliant. I think because of the physicality and the brutality and the hype of the game, it's also still just sportsmen. It's sportsmen guys who play what we do and what we love, and then the mutual respect that is amongst each other post match is just brilliant. So I think it could have gone sour quickly, but a lot of credit to Ruan and his men.
Just after this victory, are they allowed back home?
100%.
Was Brandon? I think there were a lot of things with Brandon. It's in Somerset West Strand.
Next 2 days.
Next 2 days. Yeah.
Just on a serious note, Johan now almost celebrated everything of Suleiman. You had Kitshoff coming back from Springbok duty and joined you guys at training. Is that sort of the glue that's
Absolutely spot on. We're trying to create a special group here, a sense of belonging, playing for the people of Cape Town, playing for each other. So Ronel, amazing. Samal Marat, he's been at every training. He's helping with line. He's offered to help with lineouts and crutches, and that probably is the biggest high. Not the high is the wrong word. Biggest, I don't know. Maybe high is the biggest satisfaction I get when I see Ernst van Rijn and Gary Porter and Ruan congratulating the guys who are playing in their place, helping Herschel Jantjies with a radio piece. shouting at basically coaching Paul de Beek the whole game from the thing. You know, I don't know. That is what we're trying to do, and that's probably one of the real highlights for me of the day.
Well, how do you manage this week coming up? I think Christmas coming in, playing on New Year's Eve as well.
Yeah. Look, it's a Saturday game. So we've got 8 days. I can give the guys Christmas Day off and day of goodwill off. So we'll give them an extra day off. And then look, we know full well that we'll undo all the good work of today if we don't get a really good performance in next week. And yeah, so I've got no worries about that. I think giving the guy just go manage it, like I said, and I think we've done it quite well this week. Get them out of training as quickly as we can. No unnecessary double meetings, no talks about Greek mythology and Shakespeare and stuff like that. I'll treat them to that in the new year. We had a
Secret Santa.
no bananas. We had a quick Secret Santa. Somebody got a 12-inch pencil. No.
Cool. Any other questions?
You created a fortress. Touching on that, the last time you actually lost the game was against the Lions a year ago. Just touch on that, the fortress. I mean, you guys must be really proud of that.
Yeah, you've actually had a really good point. That was probably our lowest point last season with the 37-19 defeat here, as well as we played. And it sounds odd. And when I was responsible, a part of Mike and Dunks, we were all part of the journey when we started transitioning here. We lost to Crickers at home in our Currie Cup. We lost quite a few, lost to Bulls and Sharks here, and we thought this was a Green Point thing. And now, we've got over 380, I don't know how many days it is since we lost here. But we need this Lions one to make it the whole year, the whole of 2022. And that's really important to us, so that'll add a bit into this game. Got one more game on New Year's Eve against a team that really beat us quite convincingly here on the 4th of December last year. So that is going to be a big driver for us as a coaching group and this week.
Well, guys, I see Ken Borland's on Zoom. Ken, you got a question?
Thanks, Michael. Congrats, John and Steven. John, considering you had like 35% possession in territory, how proud of you are you of that defensive effort?
I thought. I thought we defended well. I thought we made a couple of discipline errors. I thought we missed a couple of tackles, but we scrambled well. And this team's got real heart. I haven't seen the stats, but I am proud of our defense. I'm proud, especially of our maul defense, because the Bulls are a really good mauling team, and that was good. And I think our kick chase defense was really good. I didn't see any line breaks there. A couple of Marco van Staden's try towards the end. I think we missed a tackle or two on the way there, journey up the far side. So not our best defensive effort, but if those are the stats, then great.
Cool, Ken. Was that all there? You happy? Nice one.
Thank you.
Nice one. Okay, Jan has got his hand up. Go for it, Jan.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, John. Thanks, Stephen. John, you touched on the Lions and you touched on the home record. What are you getting at, or what are you looking to? I mean, the home teams have won mostly so far. It's very obvious. I mean, we saw the Sharks today. We saw how you guys play at home. How important is that home record becoming in this competition? I mean, we've seen it in Europe now as well. How important is it becoming?
Look, it is important. Local derbies, I think, are always going to be home or away. Are always going to be important games because of the 8 or 10 point log swing. We've still got to go to Loftus where it's 1,400 meters, whatever it is, the altitude matters as we read. So that's going to be a really, really tough game for us. The local derbies, you want to have a go at them home and away. I'm sure I think the real difference in home and away is when you play European teams, because the big difference are Steven versus Clermont here versus Clermont there, two different. They're going to come here on the 15th of January. It's going to be different to what we experienced there. So I think in Europe it's really important. Local URC games, I think you want to try and get every game you can.
I don't know if you've seen much of the Lions Sharks game today, but what do you make of the Lions and what do you expect of them next week?
I saw most of it. Yeah, look, they're a young side. And, Lions, if they keep that side together, they're really good. I think Jordan Hendricks is one of the special playmaker. I think they've got, obviously, they fight really well. They don't go away. They maul really well. The game isn't going to have the same hype and interest. Just by 7:30 on the year, it's not going to be, but it's going to be a good game of rugby. And we're going to have to motivate ourselves intrinsically rather than be motivated by the occasion or the opposition or the URC final or something like that.
Thanks.
Cool, Jan. Okay, so we got Caleb, the last one with his hand up. Go for it, Caleb.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Dubba, you say all is well that ends well, but in terms of the depth of the squad, how do you think that's going to look for you in terms of preparing for the Currie Cup, the URC, and the European Champions Cup? It might seem they might start overlapping. And in terms of how you see some of the players that are carrying a little bit of mileage in terms of their playing capacity. We've heard Jake talk about the structure of the tournament as well as travel. How do you think that's impacting your plans within this year?
Yeah, I think we had a really comprehensive plan. We used 44 players up until the Dragons to give guys, and there's some guys that we're not thinking about now. Namakaba, Kwenzo Blose, Leon Lyons, Sazi hasn't played much, Kate Voliter, Andre Hugo Fenta. So that's one of the things that delighted me about our off-season and this period up to the Dragons is how much we built our depth. I don't think many teams could take out of their pack could take Evan Roos, Ernst van Rijn, Andre Smith, Samar Marat, Gary Porter, and still be able to play the Bulls, like to the extent that we did in the forwards. So we've worked very hard on our depth. We don't play more than weekly now for a while, in terms of the Currie Cup. There are a couple of buys in February, but the Springboks had their Western period. We try to go for a hybrid. The Bulls don't have a lot of guys in the Springbok. That's their model, and that may pay off for them in February and March. Ours was to be a sort of hybrid. We want people like Steven here. They mean a lot to the people of Steven, Damien in front. I mean a lot to the people of Cape Town. I mean a lot to this team. Great leaders, but we haven't, probably because we haven't had much choice, we haven't overinvested in buying a fortune of Springboks. So we're a little bit of a hybrid, but I think what we have got, I could name an under 21 team or under 22 team, and I say that's a competition, of Stormers guys. It was really, really exciting. You could play Sasha at fullback, Suleiman. There are so many youngsters that would just hopefully carry us through. And I really want to put together a really good Currie Cup campaign. I think it would just be great for the development of, again, random names, Kwenza, Sazi. If they could have a great Currie Cup campaign with the same coaches putting in the energy and they sense they're part of the main group, it'd be great for us. So I'm comfortable that we worked really hard on our depth. And it is a bit of a concern that we've got such a flash-pointed lock. To lose 4 locks in 3 weeks is a lot for us.
And do you enjoy the Doha trips, or you're not going to comment on that one?
The Doha trips. Yeah, we're going to play in Glasgow. I haven't told Steven yet because he'll get injured before. But at the moment we're flying Cape Town, Joburg, Doha, London, Glasgow. I can't see that as being performance enhancing, but we'll see what we can do about the travel. Business class.
Cool, Caleb. All good.
All good. Thanks, Mike.
Nice one. I think we've reached the end, guys. Well done. Oh, wait, no. Kevin Rich.
Now, just with this program, you start thinking about the locks. I mean, in English football, like January is almost like transfer season, they get new teams in and all that. I mean, now that you're almost aligned, is there any sort of talk of maybe getting in reinforcements in that position?
Yeah, we are still going through the Rolodex of locks. No, it is because it is exceptional. We had so much depth, and as I just drills it through, and Marvin, I think he's expected to be rested in February, March as well, so it takes another lock out. And our locks aren't small injuries, Andre Smith's not going to play again this year, Saman's not going to play again this year, Ernst is many months, so we're going to have to. The thing with bringing we've got another youngster called Simon Miller, who's very much like Connor and BJ, and it'd be great to give him opportunity, but even that's probably not going to be enough. So we'll look. But I think if bringing anybody in, that's be a difference maker. BJ did very well tonight. So
he did, yeah. Last one. Thank you very much, everyone. See you next week. New Year's Eve.
Thanks, Michael. Thanks, John. Thanks, Steven.
Come on, New Year's Eve.
Thanks, John.
It's